Welcome to my channel. This is Rajender Singh Charzipa, and you are watching the channel Geography with Rajender. Today I am discussing about the shape of the earth. How is the shape of the earth? Is you know the shape of earth is neither like a circle that is circular, nor it is a oval like a egg, nor it is a elliptical. The shape of earth is in geographically it is given a particular term, that is geoid. Spelling of geoid is Geoid. That means the shape of the earth actually as it looks, or actually it is existing the earth exactly what the shape of the size shape of the earth is, that is known as a geoid. Remember the term Geoid, that is geoid. So another term for the shape of the earth is oblate spheroid. Oblate spheroid. So this is another term. Here is the globe, and this is the model of the small size of the earth. So what is the globe? Globe is the same to same shape and size of the model, but in a smaller size. So you are looking at this point. This point is known as a north pole, and this point is known as a south pole. So if we draw a line from through the center of the earth, or here through the center of the globe, from north pole to south pole, and this will called axis. Axis means an line. This is a imaginary line which connects north pole to south pole, and on which it rotates continuously from west to east. That means earth rotates from west to east within a almost 24 hours. So spelling of the axis is AXIS. So you are looking that in this way. Now here, this is earth is inclined. So since earth is inclined from the perpendicular line, from the perpendicular means a straight vertical line which is drawn from upward side to downward side. So this in with this way, it makes from north pole to south pole and perpendicular line here to here, it makes 23.5 degree angle. 23.5 degree angle means 23 degree and 30 minutes angle. Let's come that how many angle earth is inclined from which point to which point. There are several points. Now let's talk about the center of the earth. This one, this is called this line, this one. If you see here, this line is known as a equator line. Equator line is an imaginary line which is drawn from the center of the earth, and it divides earth into two equal parts. Two equal parts. From north side, this is called north, and this is called south. So northward side is known as a northern hemisphere, and southward side is known as a southern hemisphere. Here I have drawn the diagram of the earth. This point is, this is a first of all, this is circumference of the earth, and this one is a point is a north pole, and this is center of the earth, and it is south pole. I have written NP for the north pole and SP for the south pole. This is axis. This line is known as a axis. Axis means on which that line on which earth continuously rotating from west to east direction. So if we draw a line that is very vertical line, suppose this is x and this is y, x and y through the center of the earth, and if we draw in this way, I have shown in red broken lines. So it becomes from NP, that is North Pole to center of the Earth to X, that is already mentioned, that perpendicular line drawn on this line. This line is known as a orbital path or plane of ecliptic. What is orbital path? Path means the way. Orbital means the way on which Earth continuously revolves around the Sun. That is known as a orbits path or orbital path. Another thing term is given, plan of ecliptic. Plan means a line, totally complete line in a when Earth revolves around the Sun in a ecliptic way. Ecliptic, it is not a circular way, but it is a in a ecliptic way or elliptical way. So this is known as a. Now our question is that how many degrees Earth is inclined. So we can say that Earth is inclined from North Pole to center of the Earth, and perpendicular line, it is 23.5 degree angle on the first way. And secondly, Earth is also inclined from the orbital path, that is B point to C, to North Pole, that is axis, it is 66.5 degree. If we count total of the angles, that is 23.5 and 66.5 degree, all these lines, including this line, it becomes this and this. If we add, it becomes 90 degree angle. And similarly, all of you know very well that total of the circle's angle is, that is 360. If we say completely this one, this is 90 degree angle, this is again 90 degree angle, and this is again 90 degree angle, and this is again 90 degree angle. So this, it becomes 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 into 90 degree is equal to 360. Similarly, if we see North Pole to center and east, this is a 90 degree angle, and east to center and South Pole, it is again 90 degree angle. If you see South Pole to center and west, it is also 90 degree angle, and similarly west to center and North Pole, it is also uh, becomes 90 degree angle. So similarly, 90, 90, 90, 90, 4 times 90 is equal to 360 degree it becomes. So now you have to mention that Earth is inclined 23.5 degree from the axis, that is North Pole to center of Earth, and a perpendicular line drawn on the orbital path. This is orbital path. So it becomes the 23.5 degree. Similarly, in opposite of this, that is South Pole to center of the Earth, and perpendicular drawn on the orbital path. This is orbital path. So it again becomes the 23.5, because opposite direction of the same angle is the same. In another way, you have to also explain that Earth is inclined from orbital path from the center to axis to north, that is northern side, that is north. It is 66.5 degree inclination of the Earth. Similarly, you have to mention that Earth is also inclined from equator, that is eastward side, to center of Earth and orbital path or plane of ecliptic. It is also 23.5 degree angle, it is inclined. So this is very important to know, that inclination of Earth is, Earth is inclined 23.5 degree on the one side, that is North Pole to center of the Earth, and perpendicular line, it is 23.5 degree. And similarly, Earth is inclined orbital path to equator line, 23.5 degree. It can be both side of the Earth, that is from the eastward side and westward side, because opposite of the angles are the same. If we draw a clear straight line, these are the straight line, so it becomes again the 23.5 degree. Let's talk about the shape of the Earth. Earth is flat from north face. This is North Pole and South Pole, and it is slightly bulged from the equator area. For example, here you are looking very well. This is the shaded red shaded area is a bulged one. So I have drawn a diagram of the earth. This is north pole and this is south pole, and this is western side, and this is a east direction of the earth. So these areas are slightly bulged. Bulged means emerged outward side, that is from the equator, and its surrounding areas are the bulged. It is due to the continuous spinning or continuous rotation of the earth. It accumulated the material on the equatorial region. Equatorial means the equator and its surrounding area. Actual shape of the earth is known as I have already mentioned, that is geoid, Geoid. This is the actual shape of the earth. That means the actually earth is, that is, somewhere it is a emerged or somewhere it is a submerged. Another term for the geoid or shape of the earth is known as a oblate spheroid. So spelling of oblate, Oblate, spheroid, Spheroid. So remember these terms. This is very important. Geoid or oblate spheroid. This is the actual term given for the shape, exact shape of the earth. Let's talk about the measurement of the earth, its shape and size along with the inclination. First of all, equatorial diameter of the earth is 12,756 kilometers, and polar diameter is 12,713 kilometers, and the difference of these both equatorial and polar diameter is difference is 43 kilometers. So let's talk about here. This is a north, that is polar diameter, that is polar diameter is 12,713 kilometers, and equatorial means west to east, that is 12,756 kilometers. This is the diameter of the earth. Similarly, equatorial radius, radius means half of the diameter is known as a radius, that is 6,378 kilometers, and towards the pole, polar radius is 6,356 and a half, that is about 50, if you make a rounded off, 6,357 kilometer. Let's talk about the radius of the earth. Radius of the earth, it is again divided into two parts, that is equatorial radius, that is from equator region, from the periphery, that is from the place of circumference to center of the earth, it is 6,378 kilometers, and from the center to north or center to south, it is 6,357 kilometers. So this is the radius of the earth. Let's talk about the circumference of the earth. So this is, what is circumference? Circumference is the outer line of the circle, the line which is drawn from the outer side. So here in earth's matter also, there are two types of the circumference. First is equatorial circumference. This is the equator line, and this point is north pole. This point is north pole, and we are visualizing earth, that is here in case of globe, but in actually this is a in the case of earth, it is a circumference, that is equatorial region is this one where my stick is pointing. So this circumference of the this area is 40,076 kilometers. Somewhere it is written 40,075 kilometer, but somewhere in it is mentioned that it is more than 75 kilometers. So I have taken it as a rounded off 40,000 and 76 kilometers. This is equatorial circumference. Similarly, polar circumference is 40,008 kilometers. Then it becomes, the difference is, it is about 68 kilometer difference as compared to the polar circumference and equatorial circumference. Here are the quick look for the final summary. Earth is inclined 23.5 degree on the one hand from axis to center of the earth, and perpendicular it is 23.5 degree on the one hand, and earth is also inclined uh, from north pole to center of the earth, and orbital path it is also inclined a 66.5 degree. There are two types of the diameter of the earth: equatorial diameter, that is 12,756, and polar diameter, that is 12,713 kilometers. If we find average diameter, that is equatorial diameter 12,756 plus polar diameter 12,713 kilometers. If we add both 12,756 plus 12,713 is equal to, it becomes 25,469 divided by 2. 2 is taken as equatorial and polar both item, that it becomes 12,734 and half, and if it is taken as a rounded off 12,735 kilometer, it is a average diameter of the earth 12,735 kilometers. And if we take average radius of the earth, that is 12,734 and half. If we find the radius, average radius, that is 12,734 and half divided by 2 is equal to 6,367 and 1/4. If we do it rounded off, it becomes 6,367 kilometers. This is average radius of the earth. This is radius of the earth. So in this way, we have come to conclusion that the average circumference of the earth, if you see the average circumference of the earth is, if we add both 40,076, that is equatorial circumference, and 40,008, that is polar circumference, if we add both, it becomes 80,084 divided by 2. 2 means to equatorial and polar item, that is, it becomes is equal to 40,042 kilometers on an average. But always question arises that what is the equatorial radius? It is 6,378 kilometers. And what is polar radius? It is 6,357 kilometers in a rounded off.